A vinyl record is a round, flat disc made of plastic. It stores sound as a physical groove carved into its surface. When you play it, a needle reads that groove and turns it back into sound. That's the whole idea. Sound goes in as a shape. A needle reads the shape. Sound comes back out. Simple. But the details are fascinating. Records are made from a plastic called polyvinyl chloride, or PVC. That's where the word vinyl comes from. The disc is usually 12 inches wide for a full album and spins at 33 1/3 rotations per minute, written as 33 1/30 RPM. Smaller singles spin at 45 RPM. The groove on a record is one long continuous spiral. It starts at the outside edge and winds inward toward the center. If you unrolled the groove on a standard 12-inch album, it would stretch to about 500 meters, nearly half a kilometer, of a single carved line. Before a record exists, someone has to record sound and turn it into a physical shape. Sound is vibration. When someone sings or plays guitar, air moves back and forth in waves. A microphone picks up those waves and converts them into an electrical signal, a tiny current of electricity that rises and falls in the same pattern as the sound. That electrical signal goes to a machine called a cutting lathe. The lathe has a diamond-tipped cutting head. The electrical signal powers a tiny motor inside the cutting head, and that motor moves the diamond needle side to side as it cuts into a disc called a lacquer. The lacquer is a metal disc coated in a black, soft material. As the cutting head moves across it and the disc spins, the diamond carves a zigzag groove. The faster the vibration in the sound, the faster the zigzag. The louder the sound, the wider the zigzag. High notes equals fast zigzag. Low notes equals slow zigzag. Loud sounds equals wide zigzag. Quiet sounds equals narrow zigzag. That zigzag pattern is the sound, frozen in plastic. Here is something clever. A vinyl groove actually carries two separate audio channels, left and right, at the same time. This is how stereo works. The groove has two walls, a left wall and a right wall. The cutting needle moves in two directions. Side to side carries one channel, left or right, depending on the standard. Up and down carries the other channel. The two movements are combined at 45-degree angles on each wall. This is called the 45-45 system, developed in 1958. The playback needle reads both walls at once and sends the two signals to separate speakers. This is why records can play in stereo. Two channels, one groove, one needle. The lacquer disc with the carved groove is not sold to customers. It is too fragile. It is used to make a metal mold, called a stamper, that presses thousands of vinyl copies. Here is the process, step by step. Step 1. Silver coating. The lacquer is sprayed with liquid silver. This makes it electrically conductive. Step 2. Electroplating. The lacquer is placed in a chemical bath. Nickel metal builds up on the silver coating. This creates a hard metal layer that captures every detail of the groove. Step 3. Separation. The nickel shell is peeled away from the lacquer. This shell is called the father, or master. It is a negative, but the grooves are ridges on this metal disc. Step 4. More plating. The father is used to make another copy called the mother, which has grooves again. The mother makes more metal copies called stampers. Step 5. Pressing. Two stampers, one for each side of the record, go into a hydraulic press. A lump of PVC plastic called a biscuit or puck is placed between them. The press closes, applies heat and pressure, around 150 degrees, and 100 tons of force, and squeezes the plastic into the shape of a record. The grooves from the stampers are pressed into both sides. The whole pressing process takes about 30 seconds. The record is trimmed, cooled, and quality checked. Then it goes into a sleeve and out to a store. Now the record exists. How does it actually play sound? You put the record on a turntable. The turntable spins it at the correct speed, 33 1/3 or 45 RPM, using an electric motor. A tone arm holds a small cartridge. At the tip of the cartridge is the stylus, the needle. The stylus is usually made from diamond because diamond is extremely hard and lasts a long time. The stylus sits inside the groove. As the record spins, the groove's zigzag walls push the needle side to side and up and down. The needle is connected to a cartridge that converts this movement into an electrical signal. There are two main types of cartridges: moving magnet, MM. The stylus moves a tiny magnet near a coil of wire. Moving a magnet near a wire generates electricity. This is called electromagnetic induction. The coil picks up the signal. Moving coil, MC. The stylus moves a tiny coil of wire near a fixed magnet. Same principle, but the coil moves instead of the magnet. This usually produces a more detailed signal and is used in high-end equipment. The electrical signal from the cartridge is very weak, about 5 millivolts for a moving magnet cartridge. It needs to be amplified before it can power speakers. The signal from a cartridge goes into a phono preamplifier, or phono stage, before anything else. The phono stage does two jobs. Job 1, amplification. It boosts the weak cartridge signal up to a level that a regular amplifier can use, usually around 100 to 1,000 times stronger. Job 2, RIAA equalization. This is the important one. When records are cut, the audio is deliberately altered. Bass frequencies are made quieter, and high frequencies are made louder. This is done because bass vibrations are large and would take up too much physical space in the groove. Without this adjustment, you could not fit enough music on a record. This alteration follows a standard called the RIAA curve, named after the Recording Industry Association of America. It was standardized in 1954. The phono stage reverses this alteration. It boosts the bass back up and brings the highs back down to their correct levels. The result is the original, flat sound. Without a phono stage, records sound thin and scratchy. All highs, no bass. People often say vinyl sounds warmer than digital. There is a real physical reason for this. Vinyl records are an analog medium. The groove is a continuous physical copy of the sound wave. There are no steps or gaps. The zigzag is smooth and unbroken, just like real sound. Digital audio, like a CD or MP3, takes samples of the sound wave at fixed intervals, 100 times per second for a CD. This is called the sampling rate. Between samples, the sound is reconstructed mathematically. It is extremely accurate, but it is not a continuous wave. It is a series of very fast steps. Whether this difference matters to human hearing is debated, but the physics are clear. Vinyl is a direct physical representation of the original sound wave. There is also the matter of harmonic distortion. Vinyl adds a small amount of even-order harmonic distortion, extra tones that are musically related to the original. Many listeners find this pleasant. It is part of the warmth people describe. A diamond needle riding in a plastic groove causes physical wear every time the record plays. A good diamond stylus lasts approximately 500 to 1,000 hours of play before it wears down enough to damage records. A worn stylus chews up the groove walls and permanently destroys the audio details stored there. Dust in the groove also causes problems. Particles of dust get pushed by the stylus and cause the clicks and pops you sometimes hear on records. A clean record sounds significantly better. Static electricity attracts dust to vinyl. Many collectors use anti-static brushes, record cleaning machines, or both. Storing records vertically, standing up, not flat, prevents warping. Heat and direct sunlight damage vinyl. A warped record cannot be read correctly by the stylus. Here is the complete path. From recording to your ears, sound is captured by a microphone and converted to an electrical signal. The signal drives a cutting lathe that carves a groove into a lacquer disc. The lacquer is used to make metal stampers. Stampers press PVC biscuits into vinyl records in a hydraulic press. You place the record on a turntable spinning at the correct RPM. A diamond stylus sits in the groove and vibrates as the groove's zigzag pushes it. The cartridge converts stylus movement into an electrical signal. The phono stage amplifies the signal and reverses the RIAA equalization. The amplifier boosts the signal further. Speakers convert the electrical signal back into air movement, sound. Every step is a conversion. Sound, shape, metal, plastic, movement, electricity, sound. Vinyl records are one of the most direct ways humans have ever stored sound. A needle, a groove, a physical wave carved in plastic. No code, no math, no data compression. Just the shape of sound sitting in a spiral, waiting to be read. That is how vinyl records work.